Also, big news today around the Reserve Bank of Australia. It's being put under the microscope as it undergoes its first review in decades. Let's go live to political reporter Andrea Crothers. Andrea, the Treasurer says it's not a witch hunt. There are plenty, though, with a lot of criticism for the RBA for not seeing the inflation outbreak that we have seen.
Yeah, Tom, and something we'll likely see emerge throughout this review as well, no doubt. But the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, today saying multiple times that he also doesn't want to be taking pot shots throughout this particular review. So he unveiled the terms of reference today. What it will do is it'll look at the central bank's role, so its mandate, its performance, so things such as the inflation there, but also its governance, and that will also include the makeup of the board. So is it fit for purpose in today's settings? Now, there have been 3 hand-chosen panellists, so there are 2 Australians on that. They'll lead the probe, as well as someone who has had extensive experience in the Bank of England, as well as over in Canada as well. Now, it's important to say this is being done on a bipartisan basis. Both sides of politics had gone into the election promising to do this review, the first in 40 years. And the Treasurer has also been speaking with his shadow counterpart, Angus Taylor. But Jim Chalmers today really saying the aim is to make this bank, the Reserve Bank of Australia, as effective as it can be.
I don't want this to be all about taking pot shots at the Governor or the board. I don't want it to be primarily about second-guessing decisions that the board has taken, particularly in the recent past. Obviously, the history is part of what the review panel will consider, but their focus, certainly my focus, is forward-looking to make sure that we can give the Reserve Bank the best combination of institutional arrangements to help them make the right decisions going forward.
We welcome the fact that it is inclusive of looking at the performance of the Reserve Bank in terms of its forecasting and its guidance, and there clearly have been errors on that. But we also think it's enormously important that we have a strong, independent, credible, capable central bank that has served us well over many decades.
Tom, as you referenced, this does come at a time of skyrocketing inflation as well as rising interest rates. The RBA has come under increased scrutiny lately because it had flagged that there wouldn't be any rate rises until 2024. That obviously hasn't been the case as it really tries to rein in the cost of living, the inflation there, to get back to that 2 to 3% target. Now, the Reserve Bank Governor, Philip Lowe, he was speaking earlier today and referenced that.
In most other countries that have under-reviewed their inflation targeting arrangement, they've come to the conclusion that a flexible inflation target centred somewhere around the 2% mark is the best we can do. I don't want to prejudge the conclusions of the review, but I think that general conclusion that flexible medium-term inflation targeting is the right monetary policy framework, I think that's a pretty robust conclusion.
So the Treasurer has ordered that the report be handed back with its findings and recommendations by March next year, Tom.